Hey guys, I hope that you've had a happy Easter. I hope you've gotten an opportunity to spend some time with your families. I know that I've really enjoyed that, just to be with them and also to spend time in the liturgy, time in prayer, just kind of considering these monumental events for Christianity. It's been a real gift over the past few days. It's also great to get back to teaching and to get back to um, discussing the ways in which our faith is amazing and the ways in which Christ working in our lives is present and effective today. So um, I actually want to kind of conclude our discussion on mission and evangelization. We've been talking about this a lot over the past few weeks. We're going to conclude our discussion and move on, but I thought it was the perfect opportunity to tie our understanding of Christian mission to the mission of the cross specifically. But first, by way of review, I want to define some of our terms um, just to help you guys kind of see where we've been and where we're going with this video today. Um, so, first of all, we have the word evangelization, which we have talked about, and that comes from the Greek evangelion, um, which means good news, also translated as gospel. So, the gospel is just good news. And what is the essential good news is just the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, and an emphasis on the resurrection. Right? So, when we go and evangelize, we're telling people the good news that we are saved by Jesus Christ. And that we have an inheritance of eternal life. That's some pretty good news. So that's evangelization. And then we have this word mission. And mission is a little bit different, although we use it a lot of times in the same way. When you go on mission, you do evangelize, but there's more than that. Right? When you go on mission, you have both evangelization and mercy. And so when you look at, first of all, the Good Samaritan. So the Good Samaritan didn't necessarily evangelize, although he was acting like Christ. And so in an allegorical way, he was spreading the message of the life of Christ. But when we look at the story literally, his mission was something different from evangelization. His mission was rather mercy. He showed mercy. Okay, and so we're gonna talk more in a second about what this word mercy means, but I wanted to also point out more of a contemporary example in Mother Teresa. Her object was to be Christ to the poor on the streets, but she didn't always talk about Christ. Right? You don't always start with the spreading of good news. You can kind of start with a mission of mercy, where all she did was just care for the poor on the streets of India. She showed them that somebody cared, and she showed them that they have dignity. Just like the Samaritan showed the man who was robbed that he still had dignity. Right? He was beaten and broken, like all of us, but he still has dignity. Okay, so mercy kind of involves restoring someone's dignity and showing them that you care. So, what exactly does this word mercy mean? The two kind of Latin words that our English word mercy comes from is misericordia, which in a shortened form of it, which is miserere. Okay, so in the Mass we say miserere, and this just means to pity. Misericordia involves the miseri, which is to pity, cordia, the heart, right? And since Latin and English are a little bit flip-flopped, you can say that this is to pity someone from the heart. Okay, so from your heart, you pity this person. Okay, so how does that look practically? We can also tie it to our English word misery. Okay, so why is mercy connected to misery? It's because the person sees another in their misery, and from their heart, they want to lift them out of that misery. Okay, so this is the greatest way to see mercy, is that you see another's misery, and from your heart, you want to lift them out of it. Okay, and our greatest example of this is Jesus Christ. Okay, so here we've come full circle to the mission of the cross. Because God has seen our misery. Okay, the misery of this illness of sin. He's seen it. He's seen how much we harm ourselves. He's seen how much we cause our own lack of happiness. And from his heart, he makes a movement to first join us in our misery for the sake of lifting us out of our misery. Okay, so the heart of your mission as a Christian, the end goal is the evangelization, to share with others the good news. But the beginning of that movement is mission. And at the heart of that mission is to enter into another's suffering in order to lift them out of it. Okay, and this ultimately is where we have the word compassion. Compassion, con with, passion, suffer. So compassion is to suffer with. You enter into another's passion, you enter into another's suffering in order to lift them out of it. Okay, so our Christian mission is tied to the cross. Mother Teresa became poor with the poor that she might restore their dignity and lift them out of their misery. There's no greater human beauty than that. We don't even have to talk about the church first and foremost. We can just talk about how beautiful of an action Mother Teresa's mercy really is. Okay, blessings on your day. Let me know your thoughts, comments. I love you guys. Happy Easter.